There are Instagram influencers who build their brand on travel, luxury, and success. And then there are the ones who build it on something much darker. Meet Jay Mazini, a man who called himself the cash king of Instagram. He had over 1 million followers, endless viral giveaway videos, and the image of being a generous, blessed entrepreneur. But behind the smiles and stacks of cash was a secret life of fraud, lies, and even violence. In 2024, his entire empire came crashing down when he kidnapped a man, whipped him, and threatened him with a machete, all because of a single Instagram comment. Not because it was mean, but because it exposed the one thing Jay worked his whole life to hide. This is the unbelievable true story of how one of Instagram's biggest influencers turned out to be a scammer, kidnapper, and fraudster.
God bless you. My name is Jay Mazini. I don't know, we just seen you guys walk down here. How old is your son?
We've all seen them. Those viral videos of influencers walking into a mall, pulling out stacks of $100 bills, and handing them out like candy. It looks generous, inspiring, like success is overflowing so much that they just have to share it. That's how Jay Mazini first made his name. With over 1 million Instagram followers, his videos of surprising strangers with cash made him look like the perfect role model. People called him blessed, righteous, even charitable. But the money? It didn't come from success. It came from scams. In 2019, Jay Mazini launched a company called Halal Capital, LLC. On the surface, it looked like a noble mission, helping members of the Muslim community invest wisely and grow their wealth. But behind the scenes, Jay was siphoning money from investors. While his followers thought he was building something ethical and successful, he was already bleeding his own community dry. And to cover it up, he doubled down on those flashy giveaway videos. The more money he stole, the bigger the stacks of cash he flaunted online. By 2021, Jay needed a new hustle. And that's when he came up with an offer that sounded too good to be true. He told his followers, "Send me your Bitcoin, and I'll pay you 5% more than market value." It sounded like a win-win. His followers trusted him because of his giveaways. He looked rich, successful, and generous. So people sent in their Bitcoin, thousands, even millions of dollars worth. But instead of paying them back, Jay sent fake receipts of wire transfers. One victim sent him 5 Bitcoin, worth over $200,000 at the time, but the money never showed up. This wasn't just a few people. It became a pattern. By the end of 2021, Jay had stolen over $8 million, scamming victims all across the US. What did Jay do with the money? He bought luxury cars, Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, a G-Wagon. He spent it on designer watches, flashy jewelry, and gambling. And the entire time, he was still posting videos of himself handing out money, convincing even more people to trust him. The more he stole, the more convincing his image became. It was a vicious cycle. But every empire built on lies eventually cracks. By 2021, whispers began circulating. People started asking questions about his business. And then, someone created an entire Instagram account dedicated to exposing Jay's scams. For most influencers, you'd ignore it, delete comments, move on. But for Jay, this was different. His whole reputation, his entire empire, was built on trust. And this account threatened to bring it all crashing down. Jay suspected that the person behind the account was a former associate named Amjad. So he and his wife set up a meeting. When Amjad arrived, Jay and his crew ambushed him. They kidnapped him, whipped him, and even threatened him with a machete, ordering him to delete the account. But here's the twist. Amjad wasn't behind the account. He had no access. After realizing this, Jay and his crew let him go. Instead of staying quiet, Amjad went straight to the police. He filed a report, and within days, Jay Mazini was arrested. But the drama didn't end there. While Jay was in jail, his wife allegedly made a desperate move. She offered Amjad $200,000 to change his testimony. Amjad agreed, but what he didn't know was that police were watching the entire time. It was a sting operation. And soon after, Jay's wife was also arrested. Jay's kidnapping arrest was bad enough. But while he sat behind bars, his past scams finally caught up with him. Federal prosecutors hit him with charges of wire fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy tied to Halal Capital and the Bitcoin scams. The evidence was overwhelming. Fake wire receipts, Bitcoin transfers, investor testimonies. Jay's empire had crumbled. In 2022, he pleaded guilty. By April 2024, he was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison and ordered to forfeit $10 million. On top of that, he received 5 years in state prison for the kidnapping. Jay Mazini went from being celebrated as Instagram's cash king to becoming just another cautionary tale. He built a fake image of generosity, but behind the scenes, it was greed, fraud, and violence. He scammed his own community, turned on his friends, and ruined his own family in the process. The lesson here is simple. Don't be blinded by social media illusions. Not every stack of cash is real. Not every generous act is pure. And not every influencer is who they claim to be. In the end, Jay didn't just lose his followers or his freedom. He lost the very thing he tried so hard to fake: trust.